Hey guys, this is Brian.
This is Jim.
And we are bringing you a new episode, and we want to let you guys know up front that there's going to be a little bit of language warning.
And not just language, maybe a little bit of content as well.
Yeah, maybe some bad content.
It's just safe to say that there might just be some things that children shouldn't hear.
Right, or elderly people.
Or not necessarily elderly. Maybe
or people of the cloth.
What kind of cloths are we talking?
Well, loincloth, really.
Yeah.
So anyway, we just wanted to let you guys know it's going to get weird. There's going to be some language, and you should know that.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, enjoy the show. I tell you what, Jim Miller, it is a little different when we record these shows without the cherry poppin' daddies at the beginning, man.
I agree.
I might have to look into reinvesting into that again at some point.
I think you're not wrong.
I'm not too far off from that, actually. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Dude What Movie Review Podcast.
Dude, what?
I'm one half of the hosting squad, Mr. Brian Sumner, very hot Mr. Brian Sumner. Sitting across the table from me is an also hot Jim Miller for other reasons. Say hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Ooh, sultry. I love it. We are coming to you from the 2420 West Studios here. Like I said, very hot. Evansville, Indiana.
A little steamy.
Steamy, that's the word. No, it's surface of the sun. This is ridiculous.
It's a little warm.
It's hot. Damn hot. Real hot.
Southwest Indiana has become ground zero for all that is hot. And it's ridiculous. I can't stand it. I hate it.
We have said before many, many times that we're near Satan's taint.
What the hell did you just say?
So,
God, I'm glad I wasn't taking a drink. Actually, you know what? To get the taste out of my mouth, I will take a drink on that. Yes, Evansville is hot. It's ridiculous. Can't stand it. The fam has been over today.
They have.
Came over, jumped into the pool, took over the pool, and been having fun out there. That's been a blasty blast all day.
So it was actually kind of funny. As Kylie was on her way over, she was going to leave. She goes, "What is their address?" And I was like, "I don't know. I've driven there for so long." And she goes, "It's like 2420 something, right?" And I go, "No." She goes, "Isn't that the name of your studio?" I was like, "Yes. But that is not their address."
Proving once again that your wife has never listened to the show.
And that's why I told her. So anyway, I was able to find the address and send it to her. But Hilarious. It was just, I was laughing when you said 2420 West Studios, because I'm like, my wife apparently has heard that part, because usually we don't get too down and dirty until after the intro.
Yeah,
so.
She's heard the intro, and then beyond that, just kind of tuned out.
Yeah,
I mean, which is probably just a surefire indicator for the rest of the audience. Why are we starting on a downer note?
So sorry.
Well, maybe that's a good segue. Should we just go ahead and go into it?
Might as well get into it.
Yeah, we might as well right here.
So, you think we should...
What do you expect, a bloody apology?
You want an apology. For what?
Now you apologize for what you did.
I ain't apologizing for shit.
Oh, that went well.
Did it? No, Jim, it did not. Yeah, so... This episode, we didn't really go into it when we first started this episode, but this is kind of like a different, scaled-down version of what we used to do on our OG releases, because, we're doing some different stuff here with these new seasons and trying to get back into it. And, we teased it from the very beginning that we're going to have this episode, and it was like a matter of time before we got to it, and we're here finally. But along the way, we've realized already in this early, unofficial, official, pseudo kind of relaunch, whatever the hell we're doing kind of thing, maybe there's some stuff to apologize for.
Yes. Well, behind the scenes, we were like, hey, we're just going to drop stuff out on the feed.
Yeah.
I don't think we realized with the first one that we dropped out that, well, we would come in really hot. Like, we came in pretty hot.
Oh, so we're going there, huh?
With the Mortal Kombat.
Okay, fine. We'll start. All right, I'll take the lead on it. Fine. Whatever. Guys, we here at Dude What, we love storytelling, and we love movie talk.
We do.
And we love all that goes with that.
Yes.
We love interaction with fans. We love interaction with non-fans. We love interaction. Yes. We love conversation. We've been saying it since 2017, join the conversation. We've always been saying that. And one thing that we like to do on the show is we like to be full transparent. We like to be interactive with the audience, whoever that may be. Long-time listeners, first-time listeners, it does not matter. We want to interact. Now, that being said, we released the side table for Mortal Kombat 2. Jim and I went and had a homework assignment. We went with my wife, watched the film. We came back from the theater that night and immediately went straight into the studio and started recording. Now, I was fueled. I was going to say in part, but no, I was fully fueled by the Molotov cocktail rage of the internet coming out of that viewing of that film. More specifically with what had happened with the first Mortal Kombat film in 2021.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I'm giving this apology here, it's a true sorry, not sorry. Well, it really is.
Should I kind of give a little more context?
I mean, if you want to, I was just going to say that, look, I came out hot on the side table on Mortal Kombat 2. And I don't want people to think that I'm like that all the time. Because I'm not, but if I had to give an excuse or a reason why I was so animated and so hot, it's because literally the 2 weeks leading up to the release of that film, I had seen nothing but anger, hatred, bile, negativity for the first movie, which if you watch it objectively without any built-in bias or predetermined ideals of what you want the film to be,
right?
The movie is solid on its own merits.
Yeah.
It's a decent film. Is it great? No, there's stuff to nitpick. But is it good? Yes. Is it entertaining? Absolutely. Did it do well enough to warrant a sequel? Obviously so.
Right.
And like we had talked about, it came out of the pandemic and it was leading the charge, so to speak. Along with, what was the Godzilla versus King Kong film or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, the idea of the blockbuster, right? That's what drives movie theaters.
Yes.
And those really were saying, hey, take our hands, we're going to pull you out of the pandemic slumber, and we're going to take the movie theaters in a different direction, and we're going to make money, and everything's going to be good. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
Fast forward, Mortal Kombat 2 comes out. I had high expectations just because I loved the first one so well. And then you add on top of that the hype train for Mortal Kombat 2. I was stoked. I was pumped.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about this. I feel you're in agreement with me on a lot of aspects of this topic and this discussion.
Sure.
Hand in hand, Mortal Kombat 2021 and Mortal Kombat 2, they really are a great 1-2 punch as far as films go.
Yes,
with regard to
that's
action.
Zero pun intended on that, but
Right.
yes. No, absolutely. And we had talked about that.
Yeah.
I think really the purpose of the Sorry Not Sorry is that we came out hot.
So hot.
and more so that like our desire has always been to create an audio experience for movie lovers by movie lovers, right?
Yeah.
Like that's our whole thing. Even in the stuff that we're aggressive on, we usually temper it pretty well.
Right.
But I think because you had been getting bombarded on X, especially with like the algorithm was throwing all kinds of Mortal Kombat 2 stuff your way, and it was all of the fanboys, and they were all in there.
Yes.
Like a lot of them were getting upset and getting frustrated by stuff, and so I think there was already that built up frustration, and then watching the film and being like, "Wow, this was really good." And then coming back, and honestly, we hadn't recorded anything up until then. I mean, we recorded the Full Circle episode, but we really hadn't recorded anything, right? So I think it was just this moment of like, yeah, going scorched earth. Our intent is always to balance that, right? Because we do want things to be entertaining. We don't want to be overwhelming in the sense where people are like, okay, I got to turn that off. And there was a comment from @Mex321 on YouTube, and I don't know who this person is. I think they're new to the show. We've stumbled upon our show, and we're so glad that they're listening.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna read their comment.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then I'll read the comment that I left.
Yeah.
Because this was before you gave me something to send them, and then they responded back to that, and then I'll let that kind of be a jumping off.
Oh, so they responded back to what I wrote?
Well, they responded back to what I wrote.
Okay.
I never sent what you did because I had sent this, and they had responded. I was like, I feel like this would just be a good opportunity for you to, instead of just us type it out there, you can actually just say what you need to say.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm going to read what @Mex321 on the YouTube channel, on the YouTube page, that episode. He says, "Phew. Okay, that was a little too much with the constant self-made fantasy scenarios about hostile fanboys and you feeling the need to get defensive during your self-made fantasy scenarios as if the fanboys are preparing an attack against you. Each positive, you said, came with a very defensive negative. It's like someone expressing something they love by attacking others who aren't even there. For example, saying, I love this pie, but yeah, some people hate pies. Well, fuck them then. I like pies, so if they don't like pies, well, fuck you. I understand disliking fanboys like that. I dislike it too, but honestly, I'm just here wanting to listen to a podcast about a movie that I absolutely loved as a huge MK fan since the 90s, but instead it felt like I got bombarded with someone's hate for wrong or fake fanboyism, as if it was a therapist session while you were getting your anger out of your system during the podcast, LOL. Sorry, dudes, couldn't finish it because of that. That was the original post.
Right.
So I had responded back to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, seriously, thank you for the feedback. We did come on too strong with the fanboy rage, and we will be addressing this episode specifically in an upcoming episode.
Yeah.
And so then Mex 321 responded back, Dudewap Pod, not a problem. Thanks for taking the feedback positively. Maybe I wrote a little too much myself, ironically. LOL. Can't wait to see the next episode.
Cool.
So it was this moment of like, oh, I think for me, because we've been doing this for a while, and yes, we've taken a break and we've come back, and we have our core fan base, but the reality is like a lot of people are stumbling upon us. They're coming across us now, and if this was their first introduction to us, it could come across a little
absolutely,
like that.
yeah.
And so I want to read that for two reasons. One, I want you to respond to that.
Absolutely.
But then also, if you are OG super fans and hardcore super fans, if you have a YouTube channel, or if you have a YouTube, get on that particular episode on our channel and welcome Mex321 to the
Dude What family.
Yeah, to the Dude What family. So
Absolutely.
make sure you get on there and welcome him. All right. So your response.
Well, I will say this. He used a phrase on there, self-made fanboy fantasy verbiage on that. I can understand where he's coming from on that. But the reality was, a lot of it was not self-made. It really was not. This was like direct stuff that I was experiencing through interactions talking about the film. And he's right. People will interject their already biased opinion onto a conversation that they're not even a part of.
Yeah.
That was the majority of what I was experiencing, just trying to have a conversation with people who were genuinely excited about the film coming out. And then retrofitting arguments for the first film to take a dog shit onto the second film before the movie hadn't even come out.
Right.
Like, it hadn't even come out yet.
Yeah.
And people were already trying to take a shit on it because of their opinions of the first film, which, again, like I said, take your self-bias out of it, take your predetermined ideas out of it, and just watch the film for what it is, and it can be enjoyed.
Yeah.
So that's the problem that I have, and I think that's the reason why I came out so angrily and so just driven, like with an agenda.
Yeah.
Because I can't get past when people do, in my opinion, I'm trying to think of how to word this. To me, it's a behavior that just is completely immature.
Sure.
It's just an immature way of thinking without actually taking the time to take a beat and say, you know what, I didn't like it for these reasons, but they did this, this, and this pretty cool, and I like that.
Yeah.
But it was all hate, So to say self-made fanboy fantasy, I kind of disagree with that a little bit, but I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Completely.
Right.
I did get a chuckle at him saying maybe I wrote too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty funny because, I mean, he probably listened and then came off of that with what he listened to and then wrote his reaction.
Yeah.
And then probably went back in retrospect. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I get it. I fully get it. And, to him, I would say, look, right off the jump, these reactions that I have, yes, they are intense reactions, but the majority of the time, the reason why I have these reactions that I do is because we are literally on the heels of whatever it was we just experienced.
Right, yeah.
I always point back to the Saturday Night Fever episode. Yeah. We literally had just watched that film and came back like we always do and reviewed the film. Yeah. And then you hit me with the Brian Takes on the World segment and everything within that. I'm hearing all this for the first time. So those are my knee-jerk reactions.
Yes.
And it's always rage-filled.
Yeah.
It's always one of those things where I get it out and then a week later we listen back to it and I'm laughing my ass off because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's stuff that people have come to kind of enjoy. They love to see me rage out on stuff like this. But like you said, a new audience coming in and hearing this, and they're hearing this for the first time, they're hearing us for the first time, and this is what they hear, I can understand how it can be off-putting.
Yeah.
And so to that, I do apologize. I really do. Because the last thing I want to do is, like we said here a few minutes ago, we're all about joining the conversation. We want people to feel like they can have a discussion with us, and we have this civil discourse where you can have your opinion, I can have my opinion, well, maybe we can find some middle ground in the middle. But it's kind of hard to do that whenever one of the hosts of the show is throwing freaking fire hand grenades at you right at the jump. So
you're collecting the Molotov cocktails and dumping them in a dump truck of them.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So yes, he's not wrong.
Yes.
He is not wrong in anything that he said. Took nothing but positive criticism out of that. Constructive criticism. It was really good. I took it to heart. I really did. I'm going to try and be better. I'm still going to have my opinions of content on this show. I'm still going to have my opinions of what other people say about said content on this show. But I'm going to try and do better to not alienate people from the conversation right off the jump.
Right.
So I need to be better in that regard.
Yeah.
But, I mean, realistically,
I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
And if we were really to dissect that, I mean, I think a lot of that, just because of the living of the digital age and because we've been so steeped in the social media sphere for so long now, talk about fanboys and kind of people saying things before they probably should be and not actually thinking and digesting and stuff. As you're talking, I was thinking about recently, like for us, nearby where we live is a place called Holiday World.
Right.
And they just released like their new ride, like they're going to be putting out next year. And one of the local news places put it out, like, hey, what are you guys' thoughts on it? And like everybody's like, they need to bring back Raging Rapids, And I'm just like, I understand the love for that, but at the same point, you got to think about the practicality of what you're saying,
right?
And so I don't know. For me, it was one of those aha moments.
Yeah.
And we talked about this on that Mortal Kombat episode. Was that we just need to be thankful for what we have. Be grateful for what we have, right?
And well, and I think that's another part of the argument with that got me so upset. It's like I want what I want when I want it. That's the vibe that I got from a lot of quote unquote fanboys with regard to the Mortal Kombat universe. And it's like, look, we talked about this. I grew up on Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
I grew up on the Mortal Kombat franchise. I grew up playing the arcade game, one of like 2 locations in Owensboro that actually had it, a gas station, and I just happened to stumble upon it. And then like a week later, I see a news report on it. And I'd already been playing it in this gas station for like a week.
Yeah.
I was one of those guys who quote unquote, discovered it in my town, And so I could have very easily been one of these guys, and we talked about the whole gatekeeping thing.
Right.
I could have very easily been one of those guys, been like, no. I've been here since the very beginning. What I say goes on this. And it's like, no, dude, when you close that door on interpretation, then you allow yourself to miss out on so many great story concepts and ideas. Always got to leave room for other people to have ideas, because that's all it does is just make things better.
To piggyback on your sorry, not sorry, I do want to say thank you to AppMex321.
Absolutely.
Because, that last paragraph that they had put about just being a fan, wanting to listen to podcasts about a movie they absolutely love.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying thank you because it's a reminder of that there are fanboys that actually do love and appreciate it.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think your voices get clouded out with the vitriol and the hateful ones. And so we succumb to that just like anybody else because we're human beings. And so sorry about that.
But I think the difference is, with regard to this, is after the fact, we are willing to have a change of heart on that and actually have a discussion about it. Whereas a lot of keyboard warriors out there will not. They will not acquiesce. They will not back down.
Yep.
And that is the difference. So, yes, thank you for writing in. We truly appreciate the criticism. Very, very cool.
Yeah. And
we hope to hear from you again. We hope you keep listening to the show.
Yes, absolutely.
Jim, you got anything you need to apologize about?
No, I'm just kidding.
Son of a bitch.
Actually, I have something that's been bothering me for years now. Years.
Okay.
So, a while back, we had put out an episode in regards to a little TV series called Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, huh? Never heard of it. Is it any good?
Well, that's for another podcast. But
yeah, we never did a side table.
We never did do a side table.
We really should go back and do a full Stranger Things retrospective.
Yes.
But on the horizon, ladies and gentlemen.
And this is something, this maybe is giving people a little insight into who I am. This is not a surprise to you, but there's something that I said on that episode.
Yeah.
I was quoting what I thought was a fun fact, what I thought was a reality about Stranger Things.
Right.
And about how they had a 5-season story arc already written, already like, hey, this is the direction we're going, all of that. And it began to bother me, one, because it took forever to get the 5th season out. And I'm like, what's taking them so long? But then 2, to realize, like, that was not the case. And so most people probably would think nothing about it. But for me, I do actually try to be factual on the things that I'm saying and truthful.
Right.
Always. Like, because my whole attitude is that if you have a microphone, you need to be responsible with it. And so, yes, we say a lot of stupid stuff. We do a lot of things. And I know my whole shtick is the fun fact guy, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure it's an actual fact. If I'm going to quote it as a fun fact or just a fact, it needs to actually be truthful.
That would help.
And so I should have done a little more due diligence, but I just wanted to apologize because I believe that I was wrong in what I had stated on that episode. And so I am sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
Well, so basically, following that same vein, we're talking about if we have a microphone, it's our responsibility to do right by the public listening to it, and so you've lied to people and I yelled at people. So
we're just a bunch of liars.
We're not doing our jobs.
Liars and yellers
whatsoever. All right. So we got that out of the way. Hopefully
I feel better.
I feel great, actually.
Yeah.
Hopefully 2026 does not turn into another one of those freaking apology tours like we've had in the past. Looking at you, 2022. Now, Jim, this is a scaled down episode of our show.
It is.
All right. So we are going back to our roots on this episode. This is an OG style episode with regard to what we are actually here to do today.
Yeah.
And what that is we are going to watch a film that I have never seen, that I most definitely should have already seen, because we give you guys a new way to look at some of your old favorites, and that is through the eyes of someone who has never seen the film.
Yeah.
Fresh take. We're going to watch it for the first time. I mean, first time for me today. Maybe for you. We don't know. We do not know until we open the box.
Well, I can tell you out of the 3 you gave me,
yeah,
I do know if I've seen them.
Oh, okay.
And I have seen all of them.
Okay. Okay. Well, there we go. So it will not be a True Dude What movie today, but when we last left off on, what was it, the Full Circle episode?
Full Circle episode,
First official episode, I would say, of the season.
There's a little Easter egg.
Little Easter egg at the end. Kind of surprised you a little bit with this. Sprung it on you. You had no idea we were going to be doing that. I gave you some movie categories and thought, hey, somewhere down the line, we're going to do an OG episode. And here we are doing it.
Yeah.
So, Jim, would you refresh the listeners' minds and ears and eyes and all that good stuff?
Yeah.
Of the categories that I gave you.
Yeah. So I may sound like a broken record to those that have listened for a long time, but the reality is we have a lot of people discovering us for the first time.
Hello.
So,
hi.
Hello. So when we talk about OG episodes, what we mean is that the whole kit and caboodle, the whole bread and butter, so to speak, of what we've done from the beginning with Dude What, the whole purpose of Dude What.
Dude, what?
Is that's what you say when someone says they've never seen a certain movie, and you're like, how could you not seen that movie?
Exactly. Let's give them an example, Jim. The very first episode we ever did on this show, for you new listeners, if you haven't heard it already on this feed, or if you haven't listened to the archive, dowhatpod.com/archive, the very first episode we did way back in 2017 was a movie called Jaws. Yeah. So here's an example. Jim, have you ever seen the movie Jaws?
No.
Dude, what?
Right. Yeah.
So you get the idea.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's going to happen on this episode.
So that's the whole premise of the podcast, right? And so what you normally do, or what you used to do, is you would give me 3 categories. I would pick a category, and out of that category, there's 3 movies.
Yep.
One of those for sure you have not seen.
Exactly.
And so the category that you gave me was childhood favorites.
That's right.
And I was like, cool, yeah, I think that's the one I want. I think it sounds good. And then you gave me the movies, and here they are. Labyrinth.
I'm glad we got video going right now.
A 1986 dark fantasy, directed and written by Jim Henson. Don't know if you've heard of that guy.
Who's that guy?
Yeah. I'm going to punch you. Starring David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Did you say Jennifer Connelly?
She's very young in this one, just so you know.
Oh. Maybe a heads up on that.
I saw you going for it. I was like, I'm going to let him play it. It only goes head to head with this, but there were no wins, but a few nominations for special effects, story, and best fantasy film.
Gotcha.
The second movie from childhood favorites category, The NeverEnding Story. I'm just letting it sit. 1984, fantasy epic. Directed and written by Wolfgang Peterson. Starring Noah Hathaway and Barrett Oliver. It did win a Saturn Award for Best Performance by a Younger Actor, and a few other awards, including German Film Awards for Best Production Design.
Okay.
Also referenced by a little TV show called Stranger Things.
Which we just talked about.
Kind of a staple for an 80s kid. Just saying. The third one. Who framed Roger Rabbit? I'm not asking the question. That's the name of the movie. Of course, you know that because most of you have probably seen it. A 1988 buddy comedy. Directed by Robert Zemeckis. Starring Bob Hoskins, Christopher Lloyd, and Joanna Cassidy. Won 3 Oscars for Best Editing, Best Sound Effects, and Best Visual Effects.
Nice.
So, Brian. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Well, Jim, I'm holding it up for the camera here, just in case there's people watching on YouTube that have never seen the box. This is the box.
I don't think our longtime listeners have ever seen the box.
Some of them have, and it's not great. It's the same box we've had since 2017.
You got like out of a dumpster or something, didn't you?
It did.
Okay, but anyway, all right.
There's the box. You can go ahead and open it up, and it's been a minute since we've done this.
I'm actually getting some rumblies in my tumblies now.
Rumblies in the tongue. I think it's been a long time since we've done this.
It's been a very long time.
Are you nervous? This is funny.
Okay.
All right,
let's do this. All right, here we go. Prepare yourself. What is that? what is that?
That is arts.
Why are we we've got arts and crafts
Arts and
going
crafts
on.
time in the studio earlier.
Prepare yourself is what it says. Motherfucker. God.
I snorted. Damn it. I try not to do that. Now we got video in here. You can hold up for the camera.
The NeverEnding Story. I don't even know what to say to this.
I'm sure you have quite a few 4-letter words you can say at this point.
I was like, hey, you know what? Childhood favorites. We should probably try to, tone back the language a little bit.
On this show? Come on. With a sorry not sorry at the beginning? What are you talking about?
Man, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay. The NeverEnding Story.
The NeverEnding Story, yeah.
Like, it is an iconic 80s film. Don't play that clip.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I have to play it. I got it at the ready. I mean,
and I can say that it is an iconic 80s film only because Stranger Things references it. And so therefore, it was a staple. I'm not saying that it was the most amazing film ever. I'm saying that it was a staple in pop culture and history.
I'm just saying
the NeverEnding Story.
I think you need to figure out which way you want to go, Jim, because
this film,
you're dogging Stranger Things behind the scenes, but you're sitting here talking about how it's a benchmark for landing iconic references.
I'm just saying this is a staple for 80s. Those who grew up in the 80s, everybody except Brian Sumner saw this movie.
Yeah, you're right. I did.
And many of us were traumatized by portions of this movie.
I feel like I've seen part of this movie. I want to say this was playing at school at some point.
I'm sure it was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really do not know. If I've seen this movie, I do not remember it whatsoever, but I'm pretty certain that I've never seen it.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say to this dude, but I'm excited to watch it.
Are you?
I am excited to watch it. It has been a hot minute since I've seen this, actually.
Right.
So let's see.
You might have a difference of opinion when this is all said and done. We'll see. So, all right. The NeverEnding Story just blew Jim's mind yet again. We're going to go watch that right now.
Let's do it.
And that's what we're going to do. And if you guys, for whatever reason, have never seen The NeverEnding Story, I suggest you get a copy of it. You might need to go to Amazon to get it. Scroll down. There's going to be a link in the episode. It's an Amazon link. It'll take you over. You can get you a copy of it, stream it, watch it, take notes, get you some popcorn while you're taking notes and watching it. While you're doing that, make sure that you have this episode paused so you can come back on the back half of the show after the montage, and we're going to sit down and have a chit-chat about it, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. Jim and I are going to discuss it. I'm going to give my notes, my thoughts, my opinions, my critiques, my criticisms, but I'm not going to be angry about it, Jim.
Okay.
Not until the Brian Takes on the World segment. That's specifically saved for that segment. Just that segment alone. We're not going to alienate people anymore, Jim, right?
At least, well...
The critics.
Yes.
Screw the critics. No one cares about them.
We care about you, not the critics.
The people. Critics, not so much.
The people always.
Right.
Yeah.
Spoilers ahead, obviously, because we're going to be talking about the movie heavily.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say about it, man. I think we should just get to it.
Let's do it.
Let's go watch it. We're going to go watch it right now, and we will see you guys on the back half.
What's that book about?
Oh, this is something special. The ones you read are safe.
And that one isn't?
Forget about it. This book is not for you.
Friends, I know why you are all here. The nothing is destroying our world.
And it got bigger and bigger. First, there was no lake anymore, and then finally, no rocks.
Get out of my light, witch! You're disturbing my scientific work. You and your scientific work.
Bastion, you're old enough to get your head down out of the clouds and start keeping both feet on the ground, right?
Rockbiter!
Okay.
What you have told us is also happening where I live in the West. A strange sort of nothing is destroying everything.
I have terrible news. The Empress herself has become deathly ill. There seems to be a mysterious link between her illness and the nothing.
If you come any closer, I will rip you to shreds.
If you don't want me, you shouldn't have sent for me.
It was not you we sent for. We wanted to betray you.
I am a traitor.
Not Atreyu the child, Atreyu the warrior.
Artax, you're sinking! Come on, turn around! You have to now! Come on, Artax!
If you really are the Atreyu we sent for, you would be willing to go on a quest?
What kind of a quest?
To find a cure for the Empress and to save our world.
I was trying to
Sneak away.
Yeah. I mean, no.
I like children.
For breakfast? Who are you?
I am the Moor. And you, whoever you are, can have the honor of being my last victim.
My name's Atreyu. I came here to find the Southern Orc.
You've come to the right place, my boy.
No one from Fantasia can do it. Only the human child.
This is going too far. What if they really do know about me and Fantasia?
Hurry, Falkor! The nothing's everywhere!
Don't worry. We'll reach the boundaries of Fantasia.
Do you know where they are?
I have no idea.
Then how do we find a human child?
With luck.
Faster, Falkor, faster! We have to hurry!
All right, hang on tight.
And we're back from the never-ending story. What do you think?
I think it's bad enough that it's hot outside and we have to do this portion of the show with the AC off.
Yeah.
For sound quality here in this small studio. But
just sing it to you, man.
I know.
But we're back.
Hey, you know what? Great. I feel it. Yeah, we are back.
Never-ending story. We can check that off your list. You for sure have not seen this.
I for sure have not seen this.
Okay.
Now, that is to say that I haven't seen memes from this.
Sure.
I have seen those, and I'm sure we will talk about probably a couple of them along the way, so I won't get ahead of myself.
Sure,
but
sure.
As far as watching this film in totality, beginning to end, and remembering it, all the criteria of making a true Dude What movie for moi, no, Jim, I have not.
Okay. Well, just right out of the gate, dude.
Yeah.
Just give me your initial thoughts.
You sure you want to go there, like, immediately?
Just rip the Band-Aid off, brother.
Gosh. Okay, so...
You want me to... I can massage things a little bit if you want me to...
I'd rather not. Look, What year did this come out?
1984.
1984, my God.
So you would have been, what?
4 years... Well, depending on what part of the year, 4 years old.
Okay.
So that's probably a good reason why, right there off the jump. Yeah. Initial thoughts. This was a very 1980s movie. I don't know how I feel, because I feel like we've kind of talked about this before, maybe. The idea, obviously this is fantasy.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And then, more importantly, it's a film that's geared towards children. So this is like a children's fantasy style film.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rated PG.
So you did well by placing this in the childhood favorites.
Right.
Yeah.
So that being said, it kind of... I kind of wonder how this is going to go with the comparison I'm going to make. So follow me on this.
Oh, boy.
So remember when we did Wizard of Oz?
Oh, no, this is not going to end well.
Okay, yes, I do.
My big gripe for me.
Yes.
For me solely.
Yes.
Personally. Brian J. Sumner. Not host of the Dude What podcast. Not amateur film critic. But me, personally.
Yes.
It was hard for me to latch onto and get kind of locked into The Wizard of Oz because, like I said, I am a mid-40s guy watching a film that's clearly created for children.
Sure.
With that parameter right there up front, it's hard to lock in. So then I have to kind of work through that and then focus on just the story.
Yeah.
And it's still hard because, again, this is a film that is geared towards children. I haven't watched this. I was an 80s child, but there's sections of the 80s apparently I missed. So going back and having to try and reconnect to something like this from a decade that I grew up in, it's a little difficult. It's very difficult, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
That being said, let's talk about the film, Jim.
Yeah.
Because remember, this is a brand new me. This is new me, Jim.
I think out of the gate, that is good that you come at it like that, because I think it's important when reviewing movies, right? Like, I mean, the whole purpose of this is, hey, this is a movie you've never seen.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time.
Right.
A lot of people have a lot of feelings towards this movie.
Yes.
There's a lot of nostalgia, obviously, tied in. Like, there's a lot of that overlap. I see where you're coming from with Wizard of Oz. But to be able to acknowledge, hey, this is obviously based for kids in the 80s.
Yes.
So trying to remove all of the knowledge you have as an adult and put yourself back into being a kid watching this is a little difficult.
Yep.
And so that may or may not have some sway moving forward. I say that, but like it allows someone to then interpret what you were saying through that lens.
Yes.
Like saying that out of the
Absolutely.
gate. I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's actually fair.
I think so.
Because there's a lot of movie review people that would just come at it and not give any context for why they're coming at it. So
yeah, no, and I'm trying to be fair is what I'm trying to be with my review of this film. That is, it's a bit dated in my mind.
Sure.
But I say that, and you have a Jaws poster hanging behind you, which came out almost 8 years prior to this film.
Sure,
and then I got Mr. Humphrey Bogart hanging up on the wall right over there in Casablanca, which came out in 1942.
Right.
Okay, so we're definitely going to talk about staying power as we get into the back half here.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have talked about kids' movies before. We've done, animated movies. We've covered the gamut on pretty much all the types of movies.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting back into this, man. Like, so what was your attitude going into it? Like, what were you looking for? What were you hoping for? Things like that going into this film.
This particular film, what I was looking for going into it, it's not lost upon me going into this what this movie was. I mean, we talk about and we mentioned Stranger Things in the first half. Not knowing this movie at all, but knowing the scene from Stranger Things, and I know we're probably going to get to it, or maybe we can talk about it now, but the theme song from this movie, NeverEnding Story. So, right off the jump, the first note that I made, because it's in the title sequence, I can't hear that song without seeing in my mind Dusty Bun.
Right.
I can't.
Right.
Because for me, talking about Stranger Things, and I hate to even use the word, but
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
that scene from Stranger Things is iconic.
Agreed.
You know, it's one of those scenes that when it stays with you, it makes it iconic.
Yeah.
And maybe iconic for all the wrong reasons, because at the time when you're watching, you're like, this is kind of silly, but at the same time, it's like, hey, I'm kind of getting into this. But point being is, not knowing anything about this film, the movie,
so you have zero context.
I have no context whatsoever. I know the song. I know the song from Stranger Things. So in my mind, what I have going into this film as far as an expectation is, and it's not even really an expectation, I just want to know what the magic is for other people. I'm trying to go into this with an open mind and say, okay, what is it about this film that connects with that audience?
Okay. That's a great question.
Yep. I'm still working on the answer.
It's been. I'm knocking the rust off with the questioning here a little bit on the interviewing side.
Yeah.
So we talk about story often.
Yeah.
This film literally has the word story in the title.
Yeah.
There's a story within the story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of storytelling that is happening in this film. So talk to me from that perspective. Because we hammer home the story thing. How do you feel about all of that?
Well, the feelings that I have inside of me, you know, it really hits home the actual title of the NeverEnding story. The never-ending part kind of really hits home quite a bit. Look, here's the thing, man. I understood pretty early on what they were trying to do with the story.
Sure.
Do I feel like that was executed well? Absolutely not. Yeah. I really don't. Stepping aside from the whole fantasy thing, it's the 80s, it's this, it's that, whatever. Focus on the story. What is the story? Okay, it's this kid who's bullied. He's sad, he's depressed, he's lost his mom. Kind of seems like he doesn't really have a great relationship with his dad, but that's a small little sampling right at the beginning, which I have comments and critiques about that as well. It's your kid's gone all freaking day. Like, like we don't have a cut scene where the dad's like worried, so obviously the dad doesn't care. Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
That's the 80s, baby.
Yeah,
that's the 80s.
You're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Your mom's dead. I'm going to go work. Good luck, kid.
He could be a Wall Street guy.
Sure.
I mean, he could be all hopped up on cocaine. I don't know. It's the 1980s. No one knows. Anyway, but I understood what they were trying to do with the story within a story and trying to have those worlds linked together. I get that. I understand that. And they kind of had little shades of that throughout the thing where, like, the kid's reading the book and he screams out in surprise or terror or happiness or whatever, and it's his voice filtering out into the world. They tried to lay the seeds. I get it.
Sure.
It just was not done well. It just wasn't done well.
Yeah.
There's a word you use called disjointed.
Sure.
And I felt that watching this because it's like, okay, we're going full on fairy tale. You know, we start off in a regular world with a regular story, and now, boom, we're going full on fairy tale.
Yep.
Kind of felt thrown off pace at the very beginning because of the way these characters came in and they're starting to talk, and it's like, okay, maybe they're going to lay the groundwork for what the story is, and they kind of do, but they kind of don't. It's like you're thrown right into the middle of a story that already exists. You're supposed to kind of know what's going on, but you really don't.
Yeah.
In that regard, it makes zero sense, even more so, because you realize that this is coming from the perspective of the kid reading the book. And so if that's how the book in the story starts out, it's like, man, that's a shitty start to the book. I mean, it's like, wait a minute, what is happening here? What is going on?
Yeah. Which, in storytelling, that's not uncommon. And we've talked about this with films, like jumping in the middle of a story, if you tell it correctly.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the key.
Because you can go and give the backstory as you're telling the story, right?
So the whole story within a story, I understood it. I got it. Doesn't mean I necessarily liked it because I felt like it could have been done a little bit better.
Sure. Well, I will say, just to give you some fun facts along the way here.
Okay.
This was based on a novel by Michael Ende.
Okay.
It was written in 1979.
Okay, so not too long before the theatrical release of it.
He did not like the movie.
Do you have any gripes? Were there any gripes?
So to the point to where after he saw, he was like, he wanted his name removed from the opening credits.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad?
And he actually tried to sue them, which is what delayed NeverEnding Story 2 and 3, which is a whole nother... Yeah, there was a sequel.
2 and 3?
So here's the thing. This movie technically ends at the middle of where the novel would be at. Like, so if you're in the storytelling element, it ends in the middle of the novel. The second one would be the finish of the novel.
Okay.
Now, there is obviously some elements that are literally just made for screen that were not in the book. The big part, like at the ending, where he's like flying through the city and stuff like that on Falkor, like that is strictly movie magic, so to speak. Right?
Well,
But some of his big gripes, one of his big gripes was the Sphinx, like the people with laser eyes. He said that they basically were strippers.
Oh, my.
Which,
well, I did not write it down, but
it's kind of hard not to miss the nips.
I'm watching it and I'm like, Sphinx got a big rack.
Right.
Sphinx is very ample in the chesticle region.
Would you say it took your breath away?
That's just wrong. This is a children's movie. For God's sake. Yeah, that was very noticeable and very, very weird.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't make sense for that detail to be in there in a PG-13, or not even PG-13, a PG film.
Sure.
And then when Atreyu goes to the second gate, the Sphinx, it was different.
Right.
You know, so it's like, well, why didn't you do that the first one? Like, to me, nudity, the human body, female body, it is what we as a society make it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So if we make it out to be that, then that's what it will end up being.
Right.
You know, so if it ends up being disgraceful in your eyes, it will be taught as being disgraceful.
Sure.
And that's not really the point. It was off-putting in the regard of, why would you add this into a children's film? But at the same time, it's also like, well, it's also Egyptian-based. It's work of art.
Right.
You know, it's not something to be ashamed of.
Right.
But know your placement.
Right. I guess it's important to go ahead and bring this up. I probably should have started with this. But so this is actually more of an international film. It was a German and American production.
Okay.
Now, I think it's important to note, when I talk about German, like anything that I mentioned to be German in this podcast about this movie, I'm talking about West Germany.
Okay.
So this was before the Berlin Wall fell.
Coming down of the wall.
Yes.
Which the wall didn't come down till what?
89.
Right.
Yeah,
towards the end of the 80s. Yeah. Okay.
Like November, I think. So I think that's an important distinction.
I'm going to be 1,000% honest. I'm not too much of a history buff on that. So the difference between East and West Germany during that time, I don't know what that is. But I'm sure maybe you'll kind of give me
so I mean, you history buffs out there, write in. Please have a little grace for me. I'm trying to simplify things.
Hey, you guys at dudewhatpod.com.
Yeah.
Please.
The long and short is East Germany was kind of residual of Nazi Germany.
Oh,
okay. So and not in the sense that East Germany was Nazis. I'm not saying that, but in the sense
strict.
that they were communists.
Yes.
In their belief system and the way they did things and all that. So it would be similar to North and South Korea.
Gotcha.
And so
whereas West was a little more quote unquote liberal with stuff. Gotcha.
Yes. And so you had your West and East Germany.
Gotcha.
And so that's where when Reagan was like, tear down that wall and all this stuff, like it's a whole thing. So that's where Germany became unified as one again.
Yep.
In 89. So that is oversimplification of all of that. But because of that, I want to make sure that we have at least a base understanding of that was what's going on. So this was the most expensive at the time German film, equivalent of $27 million.
Nice.
The German version is longer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So there's a German cut out there.
There is. And do you want to take a guess at who had their hand in helping with the American version?
Oh, God. Steven Spielberg?
That is correct.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hey! I was going to say Pevin Spielberger, but I think he was working on other films at that time.
Yes. So apparently he also is the owner of the original medallion
Really?
Yeah, like it was given to him as a gift from the director, Wolfgang Peterson, for Spielberg's help in cutting down the film. The reason why he did a pretty heavy edit, he at least cut 7 minutes out. I did read somewhere that they cut out 30 minutes. I don't think that's accurate, because everywhere else I was reading was 7 minutes.
Okay.
So anyway, Spielberg helped do an edit for the American release.
Gotcha.
The whole purpose behind the edit was to edit it down to make it more of a faster pace. So I think that is important, right? Right? And then there is two other things I want to bring up, kind of because it kind of goes hand in hand with talking about the disjointed.
You said he edited it to streamline it to make it at like a faster pace. All I can think of in my head is Kano's line from the Mortal Kombat 2021.
Fucking whoops.
There was nothing streamlined about this movie at all. Faster, but there was nothing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so I would be interested to know what that extra time is, but I did, one of the other things
was the horse, like the horse drowning in the swamp? Was it like another 7 minutes of that agonizing scene?
Oh, you're going straight to hell for that one.
You watch your mouth.
Hey. I got comments.
I do too, actually. I got some behind the scenes stuff on that. So one of the things I was reading is that actually, especially people that were fans of the book, one of their biggest gripes, one of the biggest issues was that two of the most epic scenes within the book were not in the film. And when I read it, I was like, I feel like things would be less disjointed in the film had they been able to capture those scenes.
Okay.
And part of the issue they couldn't do is because of just the limits in the technology and the practical effects and things like that. One of the main scenes was the introduction of Falkor. So in the film, we see him, he just shows up out of nowhere.
Well, I made a note of that.
And you're like, where the hell did this weird dragon dog come from?
I said, where the hell did that come from? Because it was like, why?
Yeah. In the book, apparently, when they first met, like the scene in the book is that Atreyu is helping fight like this multi-headed spider-type creature who is attacking Falkor.
Okay.
He's helping kind of save him.
Gotcha.
I think along his journey, he comes across Falkor and this other creature fighting. That scene was not in the film, obviously.
That would definitely add a little more context to why the hell he just shows up to help him.
Right. No, and that's where, like, I watched this film a lot when I was a kid. And I will say, as an adult watching it, there is obviously I'm watching through a different lens than I ever did as a kid.
Yep.
But there were things about it I remember as a kid, like a lot of it didn't make sense. Like it was like, oh, this is cool, but it didn't make some of the storytelling, the beats did not make sense to me.
Right.
That has always been one of them. It's like, where the hell did this dog, lizard, guy, dragon thing come from? And why is he in the story?
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, that was my whole thing. I don't know if you saw me or not react.
I did. Well, here's the thing. I watch you. I've always watched out of the corner of my eye when you're writing notes.
Yeah.
And you didn't pick it up for a while. But when that happened, you went straight to write notes.
I was just like, where did that come from?
So is that what you wrote? Like,
that's exact. I said, the hell did that come from? Because it made no sense.
Yeah. It's
like, oh, here's a plot point just to move the story along. Okay. As an audience member, you don't need to understand. Just shut up and eat your popcorn and watch.
And I will say, also, from a fantasy realm, we're being introduced to these creatures and these types of characters really early on.
Yeah.
For Fantasia and stuff. But, like, he's still so uniquely different that, like, his introduction should have been way different.
It just didn't make sense. Because
like,
it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, the sky opened up and he comes out and it's like, why?
And what is it?
And, and I didn't even have a problem with this idea of, like, the world. I will say one thing, it must have stuck in my brain from way, way, way back in the day.
Yeah.
But when they're having the meeting at the Emerald City or the whatever, and all the different people that are there, the people with just the giant heads.
Yes.
I remembered that. And I don't know if it was watching this or seeing this on TV or what it was, but I have a memory of just seeing those. So as soon as they popped up, I was like, why do I know those? Here's the thing. The practical effects, some of that stuff was pretty awesome. Like, it looked really good.
Yeah, and that's a testament to Bryan Johnson, who actually, rest in peace, just recently passed as of May 25th of this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was on different movies like Alien and Aliens.
Okay.
Dragon Slayer, Dragonheart were some of the older ones and stuff that he had done.
Gotcha.
But he was a big practical effects guy. So,
well, I mean, they look cool because the artistry that went into making I'm assuming just giant mechanical you know, heads and bodies and stuff like that. They look cool. Like the turtle.
Yeah.
The big freaking turtle looked cool.
Yeah.
The big flying dog. Forgot the name.
Falkor. Yeah. He's a luck dragon.
Yeah. Luck dragon. I remember that. It's a luck dragon. All that stuff looked cool.
Yeah.
Until you put it against green screen and you're like, that doesn't look good at all.
Well, blue screen.
Oh, yeah, blue screen back in the day.
Because they didn't do the green screen.
Yeah,
they didn't have the CGI.
Yeah. Blue screen back. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So it was noticeable when they moved to that stuff.
Sure.
But when it was just like on the soundstage and stuff, looked cool.
Yeah.
Looked really cool. Actually, good like high level of attention paid to detail.
Yes.
And it looked good.
So did you by chance, you were talking about the scenes with the heads.
Yep.
Did you by chance catch the cameos?
No.
Which I didn't either, so I'm going to have to go back and watch this.
Cameos? What kind of cameos?
So apparently Yoda, Gumby.
Shut up.
Chewbacca.
Shut up.
Mickey Mouse. C-3PO.
No.
E.T.
No.
And 2 Ewoks.
Shut up.
So I guess some of those characters are mixed in as a wide shot, but they mixed them in such a way to where they wouldn't violate any copyright stuff, and that's why it's like a far shot, like because they're trying to show like a lot of people in that room, so you don't see them in the close-ups. But apparently
Spielberg must have called on Lucas and been like, "Hey, can we just throw them in there?"
I don't know. And this is the thing, I read it on the internet,
Jim. We've been over this.
I know. So I need to go back and look at that scene. But apparently,
tell you that?
No, Chat did not. You're really trying to needle me now. But anyway, yeah. But I did think that was interesting. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go back and do some looking at that scene.
I did not notice that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So okay, we're talking about practical effects.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things we've always talked about from day one. Mm-hmm. I will always have a love for that, just as from an artist standpoint and things like that.
It just looks better, especially when it's done well.
Yes. And I think it's almost a lost art nowadays because we're so stinking used to all the technology stuff, right?
It's all about the ease of things.
Yes.
Is what it is. It's all about avoiding the work to make something look real and better.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's top to bottom. Every aspect of everything that we do now, everyone's looking for a cheap, quick, easy fix and just an edge and an angle to get out of doing any kind of extra work to make something right. And it sucks.
Yeah, it does, because you're really limiting of the skill set that it takes to do those things.
Yeah,
you know?
And when you say it's a dying art, it literally is, because it's like no one else is picking up the mantle. I mean, we've talked about the genius of Rick Baker in the past, and you know how he was just the king of doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
We talked about it on American Werewolf in London. The work that he did on that was just spectacular. No one's doing that these days. At least no one to an elite level that it's noticeable and picked up by major film studios to want to go that route over CGI.
And unfortunately, I think a lot of that has to do with the corporatized desire to make that buck. Straight cash, homie.
Yeah. It's all right. We've talked about the cycles of things. We've talked about the pendulum swinging.
I think it's coming back.
It'll come back.
It'll come back.
It will. It's just a matter of waiting. That's it.
I agree. So I don't have any other really fun facts except for one, and you kind of mentioned it earlier.
Oh, yeah?
It's the Swamp of Despair.
The Pit of Despair. I don't think that's right.
Not the Pit of Despair. I had a total Princess Bride moment. Which...
Yeah, go ahead. Because I made.
I noticed you were making a note of a certain scene that for me, I've always interconnected those to the point to when I remember watching The Princess Bride when I was younger, and I would always mix that scene up with the NeverEnding Story.
Well, there's definitely, when Rob Reiner did The Princess Bride, he obviously had to have taken some inspiration for some of the scene work with Miracle Max from the NeverEnding Story.
Yes.
I mean, it's too obvious. That's why I was like looking at trying to figure out when this film came out.
Right.
You said this came out 84. I believe Princess Bride came out 88. So there's a little bit of gap there.
Right.
So they're pretty close. Obviously, Rob Reiner took inspiration. I feel like he took the scene and really made it his own, put a little spin on it,
right,
and made it better, in my opinion.
Well,
it's not that this scene was bad. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was fine, but again, it was also one of those things. It's like, who the hell are these people?
Right.
And why are they out here?
Right.
And why are they pivotal to the story? And how do they know who this kid is? And what the hell does any of this mean? Like, what?
Yeah. That's where I wonder if there is a little more context that was cut out.
Well, I would imagine so. If you're already saying they cut out another pivotal scene with regard to the luck dragon.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, and that was just never made.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's probably more that wasn't included from the story in this, and then there was also probably some stuff that was cut out.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where it's like, oh, the luck dragon brought you this far. Just far enough for you to end up with this old couple who's going to give you a lot of context to the story ahead of you that they seem to know a lot about, that you have no idea about. And they're out in the middle of nowhere. And why?
Well, when you put it that way.
Yeah, with a giant telescope that he made with these crystals. What? I get what it is. And if you're watching this as a child, you're into it.
Yeah.
As an adult, you're like, what is this?
But I will say, again, like, I remember as a kid, there are very vivid memories from this movie, that stand out to me. But I've always remember watching the film, and never at the time, I don't think it ever really fully, like, I never was thinking intellectually, like, why does this not make sense, or whatever. But I remember always feeling like it was a weird story.
Right.
Because it felt like there was some breaks apart in that.
Yes.
And I mean, I will say that's...
I felt that, man. Watching, I felt it.
I think your noticing of it, I think even as a kid was noticing of it, but maybe just didn't know how to... Because now I know it's like, oh, from a storytelling standpoint...
Right.
You didn't do well with your transitions. Or what I'm really great at, which is known as segues.
Smooth. Real smooth.
Speaking of segues...
Oh, God. Smooth. Just smooth.
Speaking of writing segues, I did want to talk about Artax for a second. So you did mention that you had some things you want to talk about with him and the drowning scene. So one fun fact before we dive into that. Apparently it took about 7 weeks to train the horse to drown. Because believe it or not, horses are not prone to enjoy being on a hydraulic lift and sinking in the mud.
Okay.
So
you just say it out loud. It just sounds weird. We had to train this horse to drown.
Basically, yeah. To not move.
To not freak out.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, this is a scene that I've seen a lot, especially recently on Reels and things like that. Like, hey, show me your trauma trigger or whatever. It always goes to this scene, right? Which I will say as a kid, watching it, it is pretty traumatic. As an adult watching it goes, you didn't even set it up time for me to love the horse.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say, because the note that I made...
I didn't mean to take your thunder, sorry.
No, the note that I wrote down, it was 3 words. I put a bit much. Because, look, I don't know if we talked about it on the first half or if we mentioned it early on in the back half here. I've seen memes of that.
Yes.
And the same thing, like you said, what's your trauma trigger, from your childhood, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's a screenshot of that. And I'm like, I'm not dense. I know what that was from. Like, I've seen, I can see it. I know what it's from.
Yes, yeah. You have zero context for it.
No context whatsoever.
Right.
So, as we're watching the film, and Atreyu is going to all these different places and then ends up in this swamp, I'm like, oh, the scene's coming up.
Yeah.
And then in my head, I'm going, we just started the damn movie,
Yeah.
And so my head, as a logical thinking adult, I'm like, why would you have any kind of emotional attachment to this and have any kind of trauma from this when we literally have known this horse for like 15 minutes of the movie?
Yeah.
So like you said, you didn't give us enough time to build up any kind of emotional bond with this character. It's a horse, but it's very much a character in this film.
Right.
I didn't feel anything in that scene.
Yeah.
The only thing, like I said, I wrote a bit much because I'm just like, this kid's losing his shit over this horse, but I don't care as the viewer because you didn't make me care for him.
And I will say, as the kid that was reading this story, right, like, they kind of planted seeds early on, right, when they were talking about him riding horses, like the horse lessons and stuff like that.
I gotcha.
To me, I'm like, okay, you at least did your due diligence to plant those seeds, so it would explain maybe a little bit of an emotional response that he had reading it.
It
but
was so passing in the beginning.
As a viewer, though, it's like, it's so freaking early in the adventure that you didn't have time to actually have any attachment to him. That was not a traumatic scene for me as a kid.
I think for most kids, it's a traumatic scene in the regard that this horse is drowning and they see Atreyu reacting.
Yes.
So they're not necessarily reacting to the horse drowning. They're reacting to Atreyu reacting to his horse drowning.
Yes. So. And I guess because like my trauma trigger for movies was RoboCop.
Drop it!
Which we've talked about. Just saying. PG, almost NC-17. You tell me, like.
That's fair, Jim.
That's
fair. But in reality, you just saw that film 4 years ago.
No, I've seen it before. Believe me. So, what all other notes do you have?
I just wrote down Gerald McRaney as the dad. He's one of those guys who pops up in everything, and he's amazing in everything that he does, with the exception of this film.
You didn't think he drank his smoothie well?
Short sampling, I felt like it was a waste of him because he's a top-notch actor. If anyone has ever seen the TV show Jericho, he was on that and he was fantastic. Friend of the show, Stephen A. Turner, loves that show. He loves him some Gerald McRaney. Gerald McRaney also played the doctor that delivered the babies on This Is Us and was a recurring character on that show. Tremendous actor. Tremendous. Always shows up and is always great. So it was pretty cool seeing him on there. I would just wish his character didn't suck so bad in this one. I made a funny note when they were at the Ivory Tower. I think I said Emerald Tower earlier or whatever.
Yeah, you're probably getting your Wizard of Oz references mixed up a little bit.
It's actually Ivory Tower, I believe is what it's called. The guy is coming out and talking to everyone, letting everyone know that the Empress is ill and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I made a note. He sure knows an awful lot for not knowing anything. He's talking to Atreyu, and it's like, you have to go by yourself, and you can't take any weapons. It's like, all right, well, what do I do? And he's, what do I do when I get there? We do not know. We do not know what will help the Empress. It's like, you know all this how do you know all this stuff, but you don't know what will help her? Like, what?
Right.
Come on, man.
He's just the quest giver, man.
Honestly, the quest. Son of a bitch. Look, honestly, it felt like to me, someone who was setting up the Empress is what it felt like.
Sure.
Oh, we'll send him off on this journey because he's the only one, blah, blah, blah. But really, I'm the one who's making her sick. That's what it felt like because it's like, I know all this stuff, but I don't know this.
Right.
It's like, come on, you're being very selective on what information
what you're remembering here,
yeah.
bud. Yeah.
I also made a note. Well, I got a few more notes. I made a note of Giorgio Moroder, who did the music on this film.
Okay.
I've listened to a lot of different techno bands from the mid to late 90s and early 2000s who took their songs, and Giorgio Moroder did remixes of them.
Okay.
Pretty awesome. The first Mortal Kombat movie in 96. There's actually some songs on that album that Giorgio Moroder did remixes for. So got introduced to him through that album, and it was cool to see him in the credits on this. So that was pretty awesome. I made a note of the wolf thing with the green eyes.
Sure, yeah.
That's constantly hunting Atreyu through the entire film. I put a bit talkative for a bloodthirsty killer. I mean, that scene, look, I'm gonna talk to the parents out there in the audience right now, okay? Sure. Parents out there who have young children that when you tell them to do something and they're like, why? And then you're like, well, it's because of blah, blah, blah. Why? Well, because you have to go and do this thing first. Why? Well, it's because of I felt like I was watching a parent's discussion with their young child watching that scene because Atreyu kept asking, well, why is this? Well, what is this? And this stupid wolf in a cave is sitting here playing. You've been hunting him the whole damn movie. And you're going to stop for exposition now when the walls are coming down because the nothing, whatever the hell's coming and wiping the land clean? What? That made no damn sense to me. Having this full-on discussion and dialogue, the world's coming to an end.
Well, how else are you going to relay the information to the person reading the story?
Oh, I don't know, Jim. Not in a very non-creative way. How about that? Let's start there. Let's say take the non-creative way that we wrote down and then do something else because that was silly. hunting after you.
Yes.
You almost got this damn kid in the swamp whenever his horse drowned in the murky water.
Yeah.
You almost got him, and then the luck dragon. Oh, yeah, very lucky. The luck dragon swooped in out of freaking nowhere, and right when you're about to pounce. And then now all of a sudden, you've got 20 minutes to give some backstory on all this shit. Come on, man. That makes no sense.
He was just biding his time for when he was going to attack.
Oh, yeah, because it'll taste so much better after I give all this exposition to the film. Whatever, man. That was whatever. Anyway, last note that I had, and I actually wrote this pretty early on, got a lot of vibes of the Upside Down. So not only did the Duffer Brothers take some inspiration with regard to the song from this and used it in their, I believe it was at season 3, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
But there was a lot of imagery that was used in this film with the clouds and the storms coming in and just the way things twisted and arced on itself and everything, just how, like the colorization of things, you know. You would be a fool to say that the Duffer Brothers did not take a lot of inspiration from this with regard to how they framed how the Upside Down would look.
Yeah.
You know, and so, look, here's the thing, man. You could probably tell from the back half of this review that I'm not too high on this film.
Sure.
But obviously, the Duffer Brothers and others along the way, I'm sure, watched this film at an early age or at a pivotal time in their growth, and it stuck with them, and they took inspiration from it, and they made their own.
Yeah.
You can't knock that. That's very cool.
Well, and as we've talked about, like, and I even kind of mentioned on the first half of the show, it was like, this is a pop culture, you know, I think a lot of people that score it high, it's a nostalgia thing. Like,
right.
It's one of those things. Like, I've watched this on repeat multiple times as a kid. Again, I loved the artistry of it. A lot of the scenes were very rich.
Yep.
There's obviously a lot of scenes that were, especially nowadays, very hokey looking. You know?
Painful.
But from a practical effects side, like we were talking about, like that artistry side, a lot of those scenes, to me, they still hold up in a lot of ways as far as from an artistic side.
Right.
That's removing the story from the NeverEnding story. You know, even if the Duffer Brothers never saw this movie, I think that they definitely went back and watched it before creating Stranger Things, just because it is an 80s movie. But that's where the word iconic that I used on the front half, that is where that comes from. It's not a, hey, this has staying power to be the most phenomenal movie ever kind of thing.
It does not.
Yeah. So let me ask you, I know the story was disjointed.
Yeah.
I know that you had kind of a lot of knocks. Did you have any other positives that you wanted to highlight?
I can't really say that I have positives that I latched onto.
Sure.
I feel like I'm overwhelmingly neutral on a lot of the film. I'm trying not to allow myself to go full-on critic, like current day critic.
Sure.
I'm trying to blend the both. I'm trying to blend the nostalgia look, like that, like looking through the nostalgia window.
Sure.
Versus being critical staying power window.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to find a happy medium in there. And with regard to trying to find something positive to say about the film, I'm struggling. I'm struggling because I'm having a hard time connecting with the film.
Sure.
I'm trying to find that and I'm not seeing it. It's just not there for me. It's very difficult for me to find something to latch onto from a positive standpoint.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
I was getting ready to ask the question and I kind of did a pivot. Even though this story is disjointed.
Yep.
What is this story about?
That's a very good question because, like, I felt like I had a sense of what it is about, but I don't think it was executed. I feel like, in a sense, and this is all hindsight. This is not...
in the moment.
This is not, I got this in the moment. This is us talking about it and me rethinking about it.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
You have to bear with me. I'm trying to explain it. But basically, what I feel like the story was going towards was a kid who has lost his mother, and he himself also feels lost on who he is or what he wants to be. Not necessarily knowing if he has the strength, the willpower, the confidence to even figure that out.
Yeah.
And that's what the story is by reading through this adventure, he's reading through his own adventure, and he's trying to find his way, trying to find his strength, and trying to find the ability to move on. and to move forward. I feel like that's what they wanted for this story. I do not feel like they fully executed that.
Yeah.
I feel like they missed the mark.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's a script thing, if it's an editing thing, if it's a direction thing. Honestly, I would have to say, since the original author of the book that this was based off of had such a beef with this, I would have to say it has to do with the storytelling within the film. Like, it has to do with the fact that they just did not hit the mark with what he put in the story.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to the whole thing. It's like, if you're not going to use the full source material, then what changes you make have to be better. Like, it has to be a better idea, or maybe not even a better idea, but just like an interesting idea that takes you in a different path.
Right.
Okay. To where if you read it or if you see it on screen, you look at it and you're like, it's not what I wrote, but it's interesting enough to take us in a good direction. Let's go for that ride and see what happens.
Right.
I get the vibe that that's not what happened on this.
Well,
you know?
I was interested to get your take on that because you, as an author, someone who has written books,
right?
Like, I know that you will have a different perspective from that, right? Like,
Yes.
if someone wants to take your books and make them into a movie, I feel like you would want to have a say in what that looked like, right?
I think,
if it didn't reflect what you were.
Here's the thing, and I've had a lot of time to grow on this, this very topic, because I've always felt like early on with creative writing and stuff, and anything that's been particularly mine, I've always felt like I would be overly protective. But doing this show and having to listen to criticism and understand and take it in, we talked about it on the first half, the constructive criticism that came in through the YouTube. It's no different. Like, you have to be mature enough to take it in, understand that you are fallible and you have things that you need to work on yourself. Take that and remold it into something better. Right? I've been able to get to a point now where I feel like if someone were to adapt my book into a TV show or a film, I don't necessarily need to have full say or, hover over it like a, helicopter parent would be.
Yeah.
But it would just be nice to be in the room when changes are made.
Sure.
That way I can hear it and maybe even give some input on that, and just make it a process where there's give and take, you know? I think in Hollywood, people's egos get in the way of that process.
I agree. Obviously for me, watching this as a kid,
right?
The big thing that always stuck out to me is just the fact that this kid ran away with a book,
right? Yeah,
and got to hide in the attic all day.
Yeah,
like for me, that's like, man, I would love that. As a kid, I've always loved reading,
right?
And especially as a kid, I remember just getting lost in many different stories, right? And so that concept alone, I think as a kid, it excited me. There's a lot of that creative elements in there that I'm like, okay, I think some of those probably linked into my brain somewhere and were rooted. But I think as an adult watching this and then kind of really seeing more of that story, kind of like you, they didn't do a good job executing on it.
No.
The idea's there. I know what they're trying to do.
Right, yeah.
Like you said, there is that element of he's disconnected, he's lost. There's an element of depression, the nothing that's creeping in, right? We've all been through seasons of depression and things like that, right? As creatives, and that's where I was really looking at it through that lens tonight, I think, is just seeing that from a creative element, this kid is at that age where, and we've talked about this even, where as a child, a lot of times our society beats the creative and the imaginative out of kids.
Oh yeah.
And so we see that a lot with Bastion, right? That he's in that season. His dad is very much like, well, hey man, you just got to buckle your belt and get after it. You need to keep your head out of the clouds.
Right.
The reality is for him, in order to save the world, he has to put his head back in the clouds, kind of thing. I don't know. For me, looking at it through that perspective now, as a creative, as someone who has been creating with you with this podcast, this show has sparked so many other creative ventures and things we've done.
Right.
The story that they're telling, the NeverEnding story, right, is that the battle and the fight that we always have to maintain in a world and society that's constantly bombarding us with, you can't do it.
Right.
And you need to get your head out of the clouds. And hey, you need to stop dreaming of this. And you need to stop doing these things. Watching it today, I was definitely pulling those elements out of it. But to your point, I felt it as a kid. I still feel it as an adult. they didn't do a good job telling that story.
Right. That's what I come back to. And a lot of times we talk about staying power with films. That's what I'm talking about. It not necessarily the execution of the film, like from a technical aspect, the lighting, blah, blah, blah. Because, we talked about Dirty Harry with its lighting and all that stuff. But with the story, is the story solid? In this one, it is not.
Yeah. It kind of makes me want to go back and read the actual book.
Yeah, I'd be interested to read the book.
And then I would also be interested, workshop, what would it look like to do a remake?
I don't know, man. We're in a world of remakes right now, and it's like...
We are, but I'm talking about an actual good remake.
Well, that's
right?
the thing. That's the thing. It's like, I feel like there is a very deep well of good bones to a story that definitely could benefit from having a talented writer go through and clean it up and streamline it and make it a little better. This would fall into that. This would definitely fall into that. We talked about it not too long ago on our re-release of Thelma and Louise. That's another movie that would definitely benefit of a rewrite.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit on stuff like that, for sure.
Well, do you have any other thoughts on it?
I do not. I don't believe that I do. We covered all my notes for sure. I will say it kind of ties back into the Sorry Not Sorry segment at the beginning. It's kind of funny talking about the author of this book having beef with the story and everything, and how we said that if you're not going to do anything better, at least do something interesting that can, at least take possibilities. And I think that harkens back to the Mortal Kombat 2021. We got the poster hanging up prominently right there. I will always hang that up because to me it was a very spectacular film.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do the original Mortal Kombat story like they did back in the original video games and all that stuff, at least do something interesting.
Yeah.
And I felt like they made an effort to give us something interesting tying in to the Scorpion bloodline with a new character, fresh character, something that you can sink your teeth into. And no one allowed that. And that's the problem that I had. No one allowed room for a new idea.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that. I have no other notes on this film. I think we covered everything that I needed to cover.
All right. Well, let's hear your ranking.
Are you wanting some answers, Jim?
I want some answers.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Oh boy, Jim. I don't know if you can handle the truth, if I'm being completely honest with you on this. Look, here's the thing, man. This is a nostalgia-filled movie. Like, anyone who has any kind of real, true emotional attachment to this film, it is rooted deeply in nostalgia because you watched this as a kid and it's stuck with you. Stepping away from that and looking at it through a different lens, which is what we do here on this show, Jim, it was difficult because I may be at a stage in my life where I'm not really big on the fantasy style of storytelling, which was one of my big hang-ups about not ever watching Game of Thrones until just a few years ago.
Sure.
But, man, I really came around on that one, which we will have to do a revisit on that as well, because between you, me, and Stephen A., we have some opinions. We have a lot to talk about. This film, like I said, it was hard for me to latch onto it and have any kind of real connection with it. I kind of get the nostalgia. I kind of get it. Okay, I kind of get it, but overall, I do not get it. I'm not going to go full on trashing it. I'm going to go with, on our scale, 1 through 5, 1 being a dumpster fire, 5 being the best. I'm actually going to go with a 2.
But dude, no, this is serious. I just sharted.
Mainly just because I want to hear the clip. But no, I'm going to go with a 2. It's an Along Came Polly. It is, I get the nostalgia for people. I truly do, but the story is so just jacked up that it's hard for me to rank it higher because of that. Like, give me a story at least, I mean, the fairy tale stuff or whatever, and maybe just whatever. The blue screen work and stuff like that. Practical effects were great. I mean, if I take one positive away, it would be the practical effects with regard to the characters that they made. Like that, those were really, really good.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, the story, the story, the hallmark, the paramount, the base of what we do on this show.
The backbone of everything.
If you cannot get that right, it's going to be really hard for me to score you higher than a 3.
Yeah.
It's a 2 on our scale.
Okay. So typically, you will give a movie suggestion for a ranking of a 2. So
I will.
What would you recommend in place of the NeverEnding story?
Well, dude, here's the thing. I have so many movies that I could actually suggest based off of certain aspects of this film. We already talked about it earlier. We were talking about Princess Bride. There's a lot of heavy vibes on that.
Sure.
That's definitely one that you could talk about. And we've talked about that a number of times. That's not a big reveal on this show. We've shown nothing but love.
Absolutely.
A lot of love for the Princess Bride. I think you and I talked about this film a little bit. I don't know if we talked about it on the show. A little movie called Inkheart. I just picked that up recently. Kind of falls into the aspect of the whole reading of a story and it becoming part of your life and you becoming part of the story and everything. Yeah. So there's a lot to do with that. It's a Brendan Fraser movie. I loved it. I thought it was great. I don't know that the critics necessarily were too keen on it.
Sure.
But I loved the film. I thought it was really good. But I'm actually going to go with an oldie but a goodie. Just the whole idea of the adventure and to essentially save the world kind of vibe or whatever. I'm going to go with Willow, man.
Okay.
The movie Willow is just, you talk about tapping into my early childhood with regard to fantasy storytelling.
Yep.
Willow.
That would be the one.
Such a freaking great movie, dude. That is the one for me. Just so good. The great Val Kilmer in it, playing Mad Mardigan. Dude. Oh my God. I got goosebumps just thinking about it, like, because it is such an epic action fantasy story, you know, it's big, like it's huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge story, but it's so good. Yeah. It's so good. It really taps into everything that is what you're wanting in a fairy tale movie. And I loved it. It was great.
Nice.
Welcome to my kingdom. I am so happy to meet you, Willow Lovegood.
How do you know my name?
Elora Denon told me. Elora Denon has chosen you to be her guardian. And Elora Denon knows you have the courage to help us. Take my wand to the sorceress Finrizel. She will guide you and Elora Denon to the kingdom of Tirazleen, where a good king and queen will look after her.
You need a warrior for a job like this. I'm a nobody.
Elora Denon must survive. She must fulfill her destiny and bring about the downfall of Queen Bavmorda, whose powers are growing like an evil plague. Unless she is stopped, Bavmorda will control the lives of your village, your children, everyone. All creatures of good heart need your help, Willow. The choice is yours.
Okay. Well, we've heard your ranking, heard your suggestions. Now that you're warmed up and limbered up, are you...
I don't know about limber.
You ready to take on the world?
Well, let me tell you something right now. We got the fireworks going on outside right now, Jim. And I don't know if you guys can pick it up on this broadcast right now, but that's kind of heralding this ass whooping I'm about to give the world.
Brian takes on the world.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. May God have mercy on your soul.
You're all gonna die!
IMDb, easy for me to say.
What a douche.
2 thumbs up.
I love it so much, Jim. I love it so much. And you guys have probably already listened to on this feed the Brian Takes on the Past, which is a variation of this segment. It's a standalone segment where we actually go back to the original run, 2017 and on, where we didn't have this segment set up on the show yet. And we're going back to early episodes and we're going over the Metacritics, the IMDb's, the Rotten Tomatoes, the Roger Eberts, and we're comparing the scores that we had for our show and those movies against those people in Brian Takes on the Past segment, going back, and we're doing them in blocks of 3, I believe. And so we're having fun with that. So stay tuned to the feed for those, because those are always going to be fun. Yes, Brian Takes on the World, Jim. I am ready. Let's do this. I am ready to dominate as I do.
Okay, so 1001 movies you must see before you die. This is not on it.
What? It's not?
No.
I'm not shocked because I'm like, oh, it should be in there. No, I'm shocked because I figured because the way people make it out,
sure,
it would be in there. And you're saying it's not.
Yes, I was surprised to not find it because I was like, maybe it's not under NeverEnding story.
Right,
maybe it's under story. Maybe it's under the.
Yeah.
I looked on it all, and nope, it's not there.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. That is surprising to me, if I'm being completely honest.
Same. So IMDb.
Okay.
Gave it a 7.3 out of 10.
Nostalgia. That's a nostalgia score. It's a nostalgia score. Let's just be straight up honest with it. I mean, anyone who watches this film is not going to rank it that high these days. So if you are ranking it that high, that's pure nostalgia built in. I to be honest, I'm surprised it's not even a little bit higher. Like, I was fully expecting you to tell me like a 7.9, 8.1, somewhere in that range. Like, I was fully expecting you to tell me that so
Sure.
I could take a big shit on it. But still, the ranking you gave, that's still entirely too high.
Yeah. 7.3 out of 10. Metacritic.
Okay.
It's 49.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I mean, it's fair. It's a little high for me. I would think 38, 39. Maybe take 10 off of that. But 49, I get it. I don't know how many of these people that fall under the Metacritic reviewed this back in the day or if this is recent stuff.
Sure.
Okay. But I feel like based off of what their criteria for measuring films would be back then and now, it's not going to be much different, if I'm being completely honest. And so for you to say it's a 49 on the Metacritic, not surprising whatsoever.
Yeah, I will say the few that I'm reading on the Metacritic, they are definitely looking at it through a current lens.
Right.
I don't know. I have my own issues with the Metacritic. The more I'm reading into some of them, I'm like, how are you guys even reviewing movies, first off? So yeah, that's Metacritic. Tomato meter.
Okay.
Is 84%.
The tomato meter?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No, that's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Look, for those of you out there who love this movie, I get it. I get why you love it. Okay, I do. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. But that is too damn high, man. That's too damn high. That's ridiculous. That is a ridiculous score if you're being completely objective about this film.
Well, the popcorn meter.
Yeah.
This is weird on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not gonna lie. So the 84% is out of 49 reviews. Okay. For the tomato meter, the popcorn meter is 250,000 plus reviews.
Jeez. Wait, what?
Or ratings, not reviews. Sorry.
Oh,
ratings. Popcorn meter.
I was about to. Gee, that's a lot of reviews.
Gave it an 81%. So the audience actually gave it a lower ranking than your review people.
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
That's a weird flip-flop.
It's an extremely weird flip-flop, and it's still high, but I understand it from a nostalgia standpoint, but it still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, these scores don't make any sense.
I agree. I would say that these scores might be a little disjointed.
No, you didn't.
Roger Ebert.
My best friend in the whole entire world.
Your best friend. Now, he did write one back when it came out.
Okay. Did he write another one after?
I did not find that one, if he did. He gave it 3 stars.
Hold up. Let me stew on that for a second. There's no...
Here we go again.
3 stars? Are you out of your damn mind? This should be fantastic. I am, like, on pins and needles right now, ready to hear this stellar review.
As you know, I don't read the entire review from Ebert.
Right.
I always link to it. But I'm going to give you bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to give you some context.
One might say he might give you a disjointed reading of this.
Well played, sir. That was good.
How's this for a threat? The kingdom of Fantasia is about to be wiped out, and the enemy isn't an evil wizard or a thermonuclear device. It's nothingness. That's right. An inexorable wave of nothingness is sweeping over the kingdom, destroying everything in its path. Were children's movies this nihilistic in the old days? The idea of the story within a story is one of the nice touches in the NeverEnding story. Another one is the idea of a child's faith being able to change the course of fate. Maybe not since the kids in the audience were asked to save Tinkerbell and Peter Pan, has the outcome of a story been left so clearly up to a child's willingness to believe. There's a lot we have to believe in the NeverEnding story, and that's the other great strength of this movie. It contains some of the more inventive special effects work of a time when battles in outer space, etc., have grown routine. He goes on to say, within the world of Fantasia, a young hero, Noah Hathaway, is assigned to complete a hazardous quest, sneak past the dreaded portals of some stone Amazons, and reach the Ivory Tower, where he will receive further instructions from the Empress. In most movies, this quest would be told in a straightforward way, without the surrounding story about the other little boy who is reading the book. But the never-ending story is about the unfolding of a story, and so the framing device of the kid hidden in the school attic, breathlessly turning the pages, is interesting. It lets kids know that the story isn't just somehow happening, that storytelling is a never-ending act of the imagination. That is how he ends his review. I will tell you, it's about a 3-minute read. Most of it is more talking around the movie and not about the movie. So it's definitely more like he's highlighting the positives, right? But it's definitely one of those that's like...
Let's just gloss over the glaringly bad aspects of the film, like the fact that the story makes no sense in its totality because there's no connective tissue throughout it. Look, what he wrote, we've experienced this before with Ebert.
Sure.
What he wrote is the idea of the film. He didn't write what the film actually was. I get the idea of the film.
Yeah.
Everyone gets the idea of the film. Was it executed to that? No, it was not.
Yeah.
It was clunky at best. It had gaps in it. It had parts that didn't connect properly. The overlapping idea between the kid reading the book and the story itself, I felt like there was a disjointedness in that because you had gaps, like you had these long stretches where you're seeing the actual fantasy story,
right?
And you're not seeing the kid. That's the one thing that I loved and appreciated about The Princess Bride, because they made an effort to interject the fact that this is a story being read by a grandfather to his sick kid.
Right.
Like they came back to that in clever, creative ways.
Right.
Because that reminded you what the point of the story. The point of The Princess Bride is a grandfather's love for his grandson at the end of it. That's all it is.
Spoiler alert.
Everyone's seen the goddamn movie. Anyway, look, I don't know what he was doing with that review. It doesn't ring true in the regard of what you actually see on film.
So I don't know if it's because I've been reading a lot of Ebert's reviews through the years.
Yeah.
I'm not to the point where I could become his ghostwriter, but I'm starting to kind of read between the lines, so to speak, on a few things. So like in this one, where he's not being critical, but there's things he is saying where he's being factual, but he's not being fully truthful. So in most movies, this quest would be told in a straightforward way without the surrounding story about the other little boy who's reading the book. So this quest would be told in a straightforward way. It's his polite way of saying it's disjointed.
Right. Just say that. Don't spruce it up. Just say that.
Yeah. Talking about the framing device of the kid in the attic and things like that. Like, I appreciate what he's trying to say with that. You know, lets kids know the never-ending story is the act of the imagination, which is like, you're not wrong. But that was not communicated clearly in this film.
Yeah.
So
that Ebert, he sure is a funny fella.
Funny fella, for sure.
He is a funny guy. All right. Well, I think we've covered everything that we need to cover on the never-ending story. We've broken that down. And of course, once again, I have taken on the world and dominated, as I always do.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We are going to close up shop on this episode. Like I said, this is a newer style of an OG type episode.
Yeah.
Not a full-on episode. I'm not going to give any more categories to Jim just yet. We're going to save that. It's going to be a special thing down the road. We're going to do it. But we do plan on doing some more original style Dude What episodes. But we're also concentrating on cleaning up the archive, putting that out onto the feed, and doing some other fun stuff. So stay tuned to our feed for more of the Brian Takes on the Past episode. If you like the Brian Takes on the World segment, whenever we are talking about the films that we covered, then you will love Brian Takes on the Past, because we are doing the same damn thing, but we're doing it in chunks, and we're going back to the older films that we've already done, and so it'll be a lot of fun. I cannot wait until we get to some of those films that are on the horizon. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like, it's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see some of the breakdowns from the Metacritic and from IMDb and all that fun stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. And also, stay tuned to the feed because we're also going to be trying to do some side tables on there. Like I said, we have plans. I've mentioned Stephen A. a number of times on this episode. We have plans to do some stuff with him on the side with this show at some point. Like I said, a Game of Thrones rewatch, something to that effect. I mean, we got to have a sit down because, like I said, you get Steve going off on Game of Thrones. He is passionate about it, and not in a good way. So it'll be fun to get that on audio for sure.
That and the movie Tombstone we've talked about.
Oh, yes, and we have definitely talked about that, and that might end up being like 2 or 3 different episodes. We might end up doing a soundtrack spotlight on that. We might end up doing a Dude Rector's cut on that. We might end up just doing a full-on side table. I don't know. The possibilities are limitless whenever it comes to that film, so we'll definitely get to that. But as far as this episode goes, we are done. We are going to close up shop. I want to thank you guys for tuning into the show. As always, you can check out everything that is Dude What related at dudewhatpod.com. Find us on all the social media outlets. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for @DudeWhatPod or Dude What Podcast. It's really easy to find us. Black background, orange lettering. You can check us out. You can send us emails. Also, there will be a link to that in the show notes. There's also going to be some Amazon links in there as well. But if you want to email the show, first and foremost, hey, you guys at dudewhatpod.com. And also, those Amazon links, you click on those, it's going to take you over to Amazon. You can do some shopping. Put that stuff in your cart. Maybe, if it's an eligible purchase, we'll get a kickback. Probably not, but that's okay. That's okay. It's all about letting Amazon know that you came there from us.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, really. We're trying to jog that algorithm a little bit. We're trying to, get some fun stuff going on there. And I don't think it's going to work. Probably not.
It's Amazon.
It's Amazon. No one cares. But also, on Facebook, Jim, you know this.
Yeah.
Because we're in charge of it. There's a little thing on there called All Access.
All Access.
I would say that we should do a video and put it on there tonight, but we are extremely sweaty right now.
Yeah.
And I feel gross.
Yeah.
And a shower is going to be lovely,
yeah,
is what I'm saying. But if we did do a video, you would see that in All Access, and you'd be able to comment on our sweatiness.
It's true. It's true.
But you can also comment on fun things like, I don't know, behind-the-scenes stuff, polls. We're also going to be trying to interact with people in there as well. And get some ideas for the show. You can help shape the show on there as well. Become like a producer. Yeah. We also are probably going to do, I'm showing it to the camera right now, some Rotten Tomatoes games. We're going to have some fun with that. I'm really interested to get some people live and see if they can guess what the percentage of the films are on there. So that'd be a lot of fun. So so definitely check us out in All Access for sure. And if you want to get in All Access, if you're not already in there, it's real simple. All you got to do is email us and say, hey, I want to be in All Access.
That's right.
It's really that easy. And it's just that easy as well to get on the show by emailing in and say, hey, I got a comment. I got a concern. I got a critique. Mex321 on YouTube commented on our video, the podcast on there, and we read it on here. We addressed that.
Yeah.
And we made a whole segment out of it. So it's literally that easy to get on the show.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jim, I got nothing else. Do you got anything else?
I'm good.
All right. We are going to bounce on out of here. We will see you guys on the next episode. Don't know what it's going to be yet, but you guys stay tuned to the feed to find out. It's going to be fun. That's part of the fun that we're doing here because we're going to throw a little bit of everything at you guys. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to the show. Really appreciate it. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Bye, guys. Trehu is... Yeah. I'm getting Trehu, Falkor, and...
It's a Trehu.
A Trehu, Falkor, and...
Okay, do it again.
What's the horse's name?
It's fucking Sinkable.
It's alright. So, a Trehu...
You hate that I'm needling on this one?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Alright, do it again.